You put a finger over top of your camera, you hit measure HRV. I'm not just throwing a sissy fit here. That sounds a lot fancier than a YouTuber who dances in a Speedo for a living. Morning, Trainiacs. That was a struggle. I'm tired. I feel tired, and I've got data to prove it. I'm not just throwing a sissy fit here. I'll explain at the office. Damn. Scientific testing proves orange kickboards are fastest. Science. So yeah, Trainiacs, I'm shattered. I am like poked. And I'm not just being a bitch about it. I actually have data on it. There's a new app that Coach Pat, he's been testing out since I want to say November, December, that he got myself and I think Nicole Walker's doing it. Yes. At least she's tried it before. And I mentioned this before in a video about heart rate variability. And heart rate variability is the differences in the amount of time between heartbeats. What you actually want is a very variable heart rate, because that means that your heart is only pumping the times that it needs to. It's not just going through the motions of like just a standard doop, 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 doop. Doop, doop. That's actually a sign of overtraining and fatigue. What we tried before was a heart rate variability watch, but I wasn't a big fan of that because all of a sudden I got a heart rate variability watch, I got a Garmin, I got a bike computer, I got all these gadgets. But there's now an app that takes no other hardware and it seems to be pretty reliable. So I'll show you what it does. It's called Measure HRV. Nope. HRV for training. And what you do is ideally first thing in the morning, same routine, as still and as quickly after waking up as you can. You go in and you put a finger over top of your camera. You hit measure HRV. I already took my measurement today. Repeating this measurement will override the previous one. Would you like to continue or cancel? You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna override it just for you. And you can see that the flashlight goes on and you have to stay as still as possible and breathe regularly, and I'm doing a horrible job of that right now. You can see that my heart rate line was going up and down, and that's because I was even just like lifting up this, and that throws the reading off. So you have to be as still as you possibly can and just breathe normally for about 60 seconds. What happens after this, if we were to store that measurement, we will delete it. After you go into the measurement, you hit the store measurement, and then you've got all of these subjective measures. So you put in how your training was today. You put in how you performed, what the rate of perceived exertion was. If you know your training stress score from Training Peaks, you put it in. Your physical condition, your mental energy, your muscle soreness, how fatigued you are, what your current lifestyle is, whether you're traveling or you took in alcohol, or if you're sick, you save it all. And what it does is it takes these objective scientific measures from your finger on the camera and it matches it up with your subjective measures of how you're feeling. And what I found is pretty reliably, it's a leading indicator, as in it can tell you before you actually feel it how fatigued you are. Yesterday, for example, I woke up in the morning and it said, dude, you need to rest. And I'm like, I'm fine. And then I hopped on the bike and I'm like, whoa, I am not feeling good. And then by the end of the day, I was like, I am really not feeling good. It knew me better than I know myself. And then finally, the last really cool thing about it is this feeds into your Training Peaks file, which we're starting to use more, automatically. So they talk to each other. Pretty impressive stuff. And what you use this for in training is to know what days you can absolutely go out there and kill it and what days you need to back off, because you're listening to the signals that your body is giving you that we might not be able to pick up just on our own, because we have to wait until we feel like trash to know that we feel like trash. It's pretty good. So yeah, There is nothing paid, sponsored, giveawayed about this whatsoever, but I downloaded it, I liked it, been testing it out, big fan. HRV for training. And that swim this morning, Trainiacs, was race pace pain. Me being tired, that could not have come at a worse time. That hurt. That felt terrible. Yep. Scientifically proven now that orange kickboards are the fastest kickboards. So long blue, so long red. And if you noticed in that workout that Trevor and Chris were doing a different workout than I was. They were going off at different times. And it's because right now we're all getting into our race-specific preparation. They're doing short course, so they were doing 5 100s max effort on 5-minute intervals. I was doing 200s. Oh, and this probably needs a little bit of explaining. 8 200s where I did the first 50 hard, first 100 hard, first 150 hard, then 200 hard, and then the last 50 hard, then the last 100 hard, then the last 150 hard, then 200 hard. Because I'm doing long course, so I need to be able to go really fast for extended periods of time and then recover while I'm swimming. That was a brutal workout. Oh, and last fun thing that I found out just like this morning is that I got my first published article on activenetwork.com. Active.com? I think the guy over there thinks I'm gonna jump. Active.com about a day in the life of every single triathlete. I'll link to it in the description below. It's just like a complicated mess of a URL. Check it out. Apparently that might be a regular thing. Published author. That sounds fancy. That sounds a lot fancier than YouTuber who dances in a Speedo for a living. I don't know, both work. All right, Trainiacs, home time. Weekend starts now.